y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and we're back here today with another awesome video. So let's get to the craft desk and get started. Let's go. Here we go with DIY number 1. Let's get started with our Miniature Monday by making a little lamp. So I got this toothpaste cap off of travel size toothpaste that we used on our trip, and I'm going to show you pictures of our trip near the end of the video, so stay tuned and watch those. But what I did is I took that skewer stick, I wrapped some jute rope around it and glued it on there. Then I stuck it down inside of my cap. Now my skewer stick was already painted from another project, and I'm going to stick it in there, and you noticed I turned it. That's to make sure that it was standing straight. Now this little button has some writing on it. I'm going to use that as part of the decoration on the lamp. I got that little gray piece out of a mini blind that I took apart. A lot of times I'll take things apart and use those pieces and save them and put them in a little bucket, and then when I'm looking for something, I have something to work with. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to cover up the gray, but I don't want to mess up the writing. So I'm going to go to the side of the writing, and I'm going to wrap this around and glue it down. And this is just some of that jute trim from the Dollar Tree. I had some little pieces of it left over, and I'm going to put this on there, and I'm going to make sure I glue it down. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my jute twine, and I'm going to go around the base of that where I added it, so that I cover up that little gray strip down there at the bottom, just like this, and I'll glue that on the same way. Then we're going to set that aside. Now we're going to go and take a piece of this burlap ribbon that you get from the Dollar Tree that you see sitting there to the side, and we're going to put it down. Now if you notice, I tried to color that toothpaste cap with black. That didn't work. So I'm going to glue on a piece of burlap, and I used the edge that had the seam on it to make a seam in the back so that it wasn't falling apart. And I was going to tuck this on the inside, but it just looked too bulky. It didn't look like a little lamp should. And so I pulled it all back out, and I'm going to trim that up on the little toothpaste cup. And you'll see me doing that here. And if you just make a little slit, start going around the top, you can trim it up, but make sure that you're not trimming it too short, or you'll have to start over. Ask me how I know. Yeah, this kid did it. Okay, then we're going to take some of that trim, and we're going to go around the base of the lampshade and go all the way around and glue that down, and then we'll do the same at the top. Now for the top, I didn't like how that was white on the inside, so I took some black chalk paint that you get from the Dollar Tree, and I painted the inside of this. And you need to make sure that you don't get it on your burlap. Now really, in hindsight, you should have done that before you put the lamp together, but you know me, I'm putting this together on the fly just for y'all. So anyway, I'm going to fill this little base up, and because it is a button, I know it has little glue holes, and I don't want it to stick to my desk. So I'm going to take that and set it on that little scraper. And then what I'm doing is I'm turning it to make sure that I have it placed where I want it before that glue dries. And then you have to hold it until that glue dries, or it's going to flop over. Now, this glue takes a little bit longer to dry this way because it is hot glue, and because it is so thick in there. And then once it dried on the base, I slid it off of there, and then you'll see me, yeah, see, I'm scratching off all that extra glue that dripped out of those buttonholes. So I'm making sure it's standing right where I want it to, and I'll put some support because see, it's getting ready to fall. Plus I knock it over, me and my fumble fingers. So anyway, if I wasn't such an impatient crafter, I would, you know, I probably wouldn't have to deal with this, but I like to move on with things. How about y'all? Okay, we'll see the rest of this at the final reveal. All right, here we go with DIY number 2. Our next miniature, we're going to be making a portrait that goes on the wall. Now came out of one of those calendars that I got at the thrift store, and it was that capital calendar, and it had such beautiful portraits of different things, and I thought this would make a good portrait for a miniature dollhouse. So what I did is I took and used a permanent glue stick and glued that to a piece of cardboard. Now there's a reason why I glued it to the cardboard, so that I would have a base to put my frame around that you see me doing there. Now I just used my miter shears and trimmed it out. Now when you're marking your pieces, you want to mark them at the angle, at the corner of the picture, and the angle that you want it to go in. And you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. I'll show you, because that one wasn't a good example. But like, so then I placed my next piece down that I cut off, and it was at the right angle. Now, see how I made that angle go the direction that I wanted it to? And I know it's going to go all the way to the tip, and then I'll just lay it back down in place. Now, this one, I had the angle draw it in, listen to me, drawn in, and then you just cut. You want to make sure you do that, because if you don't, then you'll accidentally cut your angle pieces the wrong way, and then it won't make that 45-degree angle. So I sanded all my little pieces down, and then I'm going to use some of that DAP glue and glue them in place. And then once I've got all my pieces in place, I want to show you something here. Now, look, they should have matched up, but they didn't. I have a crack right there, but that's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix that in just a few seconds. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take and hold your piece at a 45-degree angle, and hold your blade of your scissors straight up and down with you. That way when it cuts that cardboard, it cuts it at an angle, not straight with the edge. And I'm not going to worry about fixing the back of that, because it is going to be on a wall eventually, and it won't matter. Now here's some of this natural wood filler. I got mine from Walmart, and I'm going to take and put that in the little holes. Now you could absolutely use the lightweight spackling from the Dollar Tree, but I didn't use that because of what I'm going to do with this. Now it takes very little to fix this picture, and I bought that for bigger projects, but you know, I had it, so why not use it? But you could definitely use the lightweight spackling. Now after I got that wood filler in, I got out my rub and buff, and I always get out my gloves when I do this, and the reason why is because this stuff is like, sticks to you like glue. So I'm going to go all the way around each edge and along the edge of that cardboard, so it does not show any difference, and I'm going to rub it in, and I'm going to buff it back, and we will see the rest of this one at the final reveal. Alright, here we go with DIY number 3. Now I have another one of those little caps from the toothpaste, and I'm going to take some of this rub and buff, and I am going to squish it in all of those little ridges. And what we're doing is we're making a little topiary plant flower for our little dollhouse. So, and these make great vases. Now this is a quick and dirty one, so quick and dirty, in other words, it's going to be fast. All you got to do is, that piece came off of a wreath that I had from last year, and I just pulled off one of the little sprigs, stuck it in there, and then you just kind of want to hold it in place after you fill it with hot glue, and we will see this one at the final reveal. Now at this time, we'd like to thank our subscribers. We love you bunches. We appreciate everything you do for this channel, all the liking, the sharing, and the big thumbs up, and having conversations with us through the comments. We really enjoy all of that, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We wouldn't be a channel if it wasn't for y'all watching, and so we just want to give you a big thanks. Now here we go with the final reveal. All right, here we are in beautiful Cades Cove, Tennessee, and that is actually a bear that we took a picture of. And look at this gorgeous view from the valley. Now here's a little deer that we came upon, and right beside it was a bear. Can you believe that? There's several of these old churches throughout Cades Cove, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And here is a mama bear with her little baby cubs. You can't see the cub, it's right down in the ditch, but this was right before the bridge going to the ranger station. And here's the ranger station. Ranger station has bathrooms and everything here, and there's a lot to see there. Now, we didn't stop there this time because we always do. Now, when you're out looking, look for the deer to be laying down in the grass early in the mornings. Now, this was about noontime when we took this picture, and look at this mama and its little baby laying up in a tree. So yes, you have to look up in the trees because those mama bears can climb. And here's the other baby that was up there. And there was actually 3 babies, but we didn't get the picture of the third one. And look at that, to be so relaxed and just hang from a tree. Now, Cades Cove does have horseback riding throughout the cove in different areas, and they are specific trails. Now, this is a group that we actually saw crossing the road in front of us, and this is the Federation of North American Explorers. It's a group of girls and boys that came out to ride for the day, and they are looking at the different things throughout Cades Cove. Now, we did catch some of the not the covered wagons, but the wagons that they have that ride through Cades Cove, and we'll put some more of those pictures up in our other videos. Here we are back at our cabin, and this is one of our little visitors that we had. He came to visit us. He's a pretty hefty little squirrel there, but he's not the only visitor we had. We had bunny rabbits, we had deer, we had turkeys, and we had a woodchuck. And here's the picture of the woodchuck. Now, this woodchuck would come out every morning or every day, and we found out that it wasn't just one, it was 2. There was a family living under the cabin next door to us, but this is the picture that we got of him. And here he is out foraging. Now, we found out that there was a family living under the cabin next to us, and we've got pictures of that, and I'm going to show them in the next couple of videos that I do of the little woodchucks and stuff. I know I usually put bloopers in, and because I make such a mess, but I figured I would share some of these pictures of the wildlife that we took when we were on vacation this year. You guys, this was so much fun. It was so relaxing. Although I couldn't watch anybody's videos because there was no Wi-Fi at the cabin, and I was in the middle of nowhere other than the cabin beside us. So anyway, you guys, let me tell you more about what's going on with our booth. Now, as you know, we opened a booth. We call it the Chic Shack. It's at Avonlea Mall. And we have only been open for 4 weeks. And that piece of furniture right there in the front, we have to keep replacing it with something because it just keeps selling. Now, if you want to know what's going on with our channel, go check out our community tab page, because that's where we're at. And we will share with you everything that is going on with our channel there. And if something's canceled, then you'll know why. So go look us up on our community tab page.
Awesome. So you guys, if you like this content, subscribe. Hit that notification bell and give us that big thumbs up because it really helps our channel out. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We'll see you later. Bye.